Okay, so today I'm loading some short magnums. I bought a new gun here a while ago, new to me. I bought a Remington 673 chambered for a 350 Remington Magnum. I got hooked on short action magnums about 5 years ago. I bought a 300 short action Ultra Mag, and this is it, based off of 404 Jeffries. I finally found a bullet I liked, and it's 180 grain protected point partition. These things I've shot fantastic groups at 100, 200, 300 up to 400 yards. I shot a 2 3/8 inch group last summer getting ready to go elk hunting in September with this particular load, and I just love this load. When I ran across the 350, and like I said, I just started reloading this thing this morning, I just had to have this. It's not so much the gun or the shell, it's just the combination of both. I remember them from the late 60s. I know my uncle had one in a 6mm. I think it was a Model 660 that he had. But the guns always intrigued me, the calibers always intrigued me. It's really nothing more than a 7mm Remington Magnum cut down and blown out. So it really doesn't quite have the case capacity for powder, very similar. This one's got about 62.5 grains of IMR 4350, and we're going to end up with about 60 grains of IMR 4320 in this case. Still uses a Magnum primer. I use Federal 215s and everything that I want to burn up a lot of powder. So I just thought I'd let you watch me. I always start off with about 3 grains below max, especially a gun I've never shot before. I'm limited to my overall length with my magazine. I knew that was going to happen. So this is 2.800 inches, and that's just all there is to it. I could probably pull it out a couple more thou. I stand a chance of feeding problems. So we're going to try it like this anyways. I also have a bullet that I'm going to shoot out of it. The Hornady 200 FTX. I have yet to see any information on this bullet suggesting that it's good for elk and moose sized animals. Obviously you're shooting 200 or a 200 grain bullet. You're going to put a hole in something. But a partition, I know what they do. And I've never had a partition let me down. So this is probably going to be my go-to bullet. This I want to see the trajectory difference. Who knows, maybe I'll go deer hunting with it once in a while. I've got lots of deer guns, but we'll see what happens. So anyways, what I've done is I've got 4 that I've loaded. I know the overall length, I told you that. And we started with 57 grains of IMR 4320. So I'm just going to up it up a little bit here, and we're going to put another full grain of powder in. We're going to end up maxing out at 60 grains. And that's going to be iffy because it is going to definitely be a compressed load. I like that with flat-based bullets. Compressed load, you know, chances are good everything is going to pack down nice. Boat tails, of course, you stand the chance of denting your neck from the inside out. So what we'll do is we're just going to drop 61 or 58 grains of powder right now. So we added 57, we'll throw 58. I weigh everything, even my 223. It takes a long time to, you know, if you're, I didn't have this set quite right. You know, if you're loading 100 shells, 223 shells, it takes a long time to measure them out. But I know at 300 yards, if I put my crosshairs on a coyote, it's going to expire. And I want every shell to be the same. That's just as simple as it gets. I shoot nothing but bolt actions. So I know that, you know, when I touch that trigger, whatever I'm shooting at is going to have a hole in it. And for the extra little time that I spend measuring right to the kernel, I'm happy with the outcome. I miss like everybody else does, so if that coyote or deer or moose or whatever it is gets away on me, well, I missed. That's as simple as it gets, because my guns are all shooters. The shells are all meticulously assembled. And once in a while the critter's got to win, right? So we'll just drop two more here. 58 grains of 4320 in each cartridge. And then I'll put the bullets in. I've handpicked my equipment over the years. I've had a lot of different products that I've used, so they're not all the same color. And the reason is that what I have is what I like to use. So I really like the RCBS scale I'm using. It's extremely efficient. It's never let me down. I look after all my tools because I know that at the end of the day I want that bullet to go where I aim. I've got lots of critters and targets to prove that. So anyways, what we've done is we've dropped 4 cartridges with 58 grains of 4320. Now we're going to load up 225 grain partitions. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's a big chunk of lead. I've got a Redding turret press, 7 position. I love this press. It's rock solid. Every time you move something, it becomes rock solid again, so every station to station. I always leave my 223 dies in it and my 300 short mag dies in it. It still gives me 2 more calibers. One more caliber to set up, you know, if you have to load over the course of a week or two. And then 1 single station. Sometimes I use it for just deep priming if I want to pop the primers and clean the case with the primer out. You see other things around here too. I have a Hornady concentricity gauge, and then I use a small little Lee press, you probably can't see it, for priming. I don't like hand primers. And then I've got a Hornady Pacific trimmer, case trimmer at the end. I've got a couple of Lyman tumblers down here, a Turbo 600, and then I've also got a Turbo 1200 Pro. I have to do a lot of cases. Okay, so there you go. So I've loaded my next set. So I got a 4-shot group that I can shoot with 57 grains of IMR 4320, and then I got a 4-shot group that I'm going to shoot with 58 grains. I'm still going to go 59 and 60, and I shoot them over a chronograph in the spring. I'm going to see you know, 2 things: standard deviation on the velocities. I like my velocities tight. That way, it's, you know, it's another problem if I don't have consistent grouping. And I'm also going to shoot them for groups. So I actually have 2 cronies that I shoot over, and I even get so anal as to shoot them back to back. So I shoot over both of them at the same time. I like my velocities. Something like this, if I can get a standard deviation of 20 feet per second, I'm going to be very happy. A lot of my cartridges, including that little 300 short mag I showed you, I'm in and around that 8 to 10 feet per second deviation. So, you know, with that said, if you do everything right and your standard deviation is like that, you should be punching little dinky groups. That's just all there is to it. I shoot Remingtons, nothing but Remingtons, and I like Nosler bullets. Talk to you later.